Hola, cage fighting connoisseurs. This is KidNateBloodyElbow.com, joined once again by the inevitable, the ineffable, the fucked up the show this morning, Eugene S. Robinson. What's going on? I was supposed to be coasting.
Wasn't me, bro.
Hosting,
it's like,
toasting.
I'm looking at Nash on this one. He's got the Lady of Shanghai poster in the background. He's got the double camera angles. It's Hollywood, man. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what's going on.
Too much Hollywood, huh?
But then he wasn't linked into the wall. And, I mean, when I'm doing it from Sara's, I'm plugged into the wall. And when I'm doing it from the home studio, I'm like 3 feet from the fucking machine. But I knew we were in trouble when I said, plug into your machine. And he goes, what machine? I just have Wi-Fi. Yeah, the box that brings you Wi-Fi. What box is that? The box with Captain Crunch on it, man. That box. What box do you think? No,
it's what I get for delegating.
No. We had a great time prior to that, man. The show was actually smoking. It's much better than anything you and I work on, but
Well, then it crashed. Blah, blah, blah. How about a disclaimer, Mr.
Crybabies, bedwetters, grumblers, work-shy individuals, malingerers. This has less to do with your skills and talents as a fighter or a human being, and much more to do with the marketing heft and weight that the overlords at UFC, WME, and IMG put behind you. If you don't like being on the don't care list, fight an exciting fight. Until then, don't come crying to us.
Well said. I'm still doing the tweet, though, because I didn't do my homework in preparation. So blab for a couple minutes, Eugene. What's the general level of care for this pay-per-view?
Well, this is when John dropped out the first time. For those few of you who happen to watch, aren't you supposed to be doing something while I talk?
I am doing something.
You're looking right at me.
Creeping me out. Looking at the screen.
Yeah, okay, yeah. All right. So the deal is that even though on the last If I Did It, we gave that in. Well, I don't even want to speak for you guys necessarily, gave that overridingly, depressingly downbeat assessment about MMA for the next 12 months foreseeable future. We've embraced that. So what we've said is that any dream that anybody in this sport had of attracting that growth delta, casual fans, getting them to buy in, dissatisfied boxing fans, your mother, your sister, your brother, those people who go, what is that crazy thing you do on Saturday night? You got to watch it. Any idea that there's going to be enough firepower coming out of the UFC for the next 12 months is zero. All right, we've embraced that. So, in other words, now we're doing shows for degenerates, fight degenerates, by fight degenerates, and that's all we got. So right away, we can say in the universe of fight degeneracy, do we care about? Well, in the universe of fight degeneracy, we know that the rest of the world will not care for another 12 months or until Conor McGregor does something or Johnny Boney Joni. There are 5 possibilities for people who could do something interesting that the casuals will be interested in. The reality of it is it's now just for the fight. And it's a weird situation because the UFC doesn't cater to the hardcore fight degenerates. They don't give a shit about us. So they're in a 12-month lull of the doldrums of trying to figure out ways to attract, people who are casual fans, and they've got those 5 things to work with. God love them. Hope they can work it out.
What are the 5 things? John Jones, Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor v. Nate Diaz, Conor McGregor v.
So 3 Conor McGregor options.
Yeah, and then like Hitler said about future events as yet unknown. So you got 3, and you got Johnny Boney Joni before, and then the 5th one is like, we could come up with a couple of scenarios where they might be able to, that might involve Ronda. That's crazy. That might involve Cyborg. Equally not likely, but
they can get something going with Cyborg. I could get Cyborg and Holm in a cage together.
Yep, that would generate enough. That would be
That will be. I mean, it won't be big.
Well, it depends on how they book it. So what we're saying is, all of MMA is in a lost battalion. However, given that there's nothing to do in a lost battalion but chop wood, we are going to entertain care, don't care, like we really care, understanding that we know that the casual fan will not give a fuck about anything that we talk about for the next 12 months.
Indeed, indeed. This, to me, is like, it's like a new Dark Ages for the UFC, and some of us like pillaging across the land and living in squalor and, you know, illiteracy and such like. So
I think my kids are on that list.
exactly. I mean, they were too young for the Frank Shamrock era, but I loved it back when you couldn't get UFC on pay-per-view and you really had to scramble. So let's dive into this. UFC 215 coming out of, where is it at? It's in Edmonton, Alberta. UFC Alberta.
Well, right now I'm going to show you the tote sheet from earlier before the show went straight to shit. Can you read that?
I see that we've got like 2 cares and that he picked, you both picked Cejudo?
Yeah. So those who watch this morning, sorry that we have to go over this again. For you new people, ignore what you just saw.
I see.
I'm just going to write your comments in his column, but I'm going to leave him Cejudo because he copped to desperately being down to me 0-2 and wanting to get back on the board. Back.
See, that's
I like
his
his
mistake.
the word back.
That's his mistake. Like sinking to your level, never a good idea. Never invest emotional energy in anything Eugene's invested in. Like your guitar player emailed me back channel and told me that. Just
that's right.
Just let him have his fun over there.
That's what my stepfather figured out at a certain point. My stepfather, it was the man who created the monster in me. My mother saying, "Don't you think you ought to let him win every now and then?" He goes, "What kind of message would that send?" Mercifully beat me in checkers and chess and every foot races, no matter what. And that's why
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
It's
I am
what gave us Eugene. Although I gotta say, your advice for me to keep wearing this golden cap when you're wearing a canary yellow shirt, the clash is driving me crazy. But now I got a navy hat and a black shirt. This is nightmarish. Oh well.
There you go. Trying to act like we didn't talk about it. Okay, you wear the hat and I'll wear the shirt. It'll be so cool.
It'll be great. Do you still have that canary yellow shirt? Very exciting. All right, so we've got 3 fights on Fight Pass, 4 fights on Fox Sports 1, and 5 fights on pay-per-view Saturday night from Edmonton, Alberta. And remember, Alberta is always a fucking jinx. Anything in Western Canada. Remember the shit show in Saskatchewan? I mean,
I've had a good time playing shows there, but I have also
they got nothing else to do and they're super excited. It's like going to Lubbock, Texas.
Been deported from the country as an undesirable alien. So there is that.
That was just a matter of time, Eugene. That was just a matter of time. I want to do that to you in Lubbock.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Have you ever played Lubbock?
No, I played Houston. I played San Antonio. I played Dallas, and I played Austin.
All of those places are like 9 hours from Lubbock. So
yeah.
Lubbock is like Salt Lake City with less to do.
Yeah.
And a whole college there.
Well, if you're in Salt Lake City, you can go watch the cops beat up on the nurses. That's kind of pretty much fun.
Well, it's been popular lately. All right, so we got 3 fights on Fight Pass. Lightweight, Kajan Johnson and Adriano Martins.
Do not care.
Me neither. Heavyweight, Luis Henrique versus Arjan Bhullar.
And I'll say what we said earlier, because they're heavyweights, the temptation is to care, and I like the records that we're seeing, and I understand the formula, which is take a guy who's got a great record and tell him it's his time to shine, hope he goes out there and swings for the fences, but I don't care.
No, I don't care. I mean, I'll watch the fight, and if it's fun, I'll enjoy it, but I don't care.
I'll watch the fight if somebody tweets to me that the fight is worth watching. Otherwise, I'm dragging my ass over to the wine bar full casual mode.
There you go. All right. So lightweight, Mitch Clarke versus Alex White.
I don't give a shit.
Wine bar. What's this about wine bar?
Yeah, I can't. I don't want to give away my secrets, but I've discovered it's the best place to watch a fight because they blast it, and old men like me can hear it. You know, and also like watching at somebody's house has a drawback because everybody's grown up watching sports. I didn't grow up watching sports, so when I'm watching and listening. I'm not there to socialize or,
compliment the cream puffs and
the talk over the TV. I'm there to pay attention to the TV.
I see. Do you tell people to shush?
No, I'm not a shusher. I don't. I don't. I just sit closer to the TV.
Do you wear earplugs when you perform on stage?
I do.
Okay, good. How long have you been doing that?
Since the '80s.
Okay, good.
It's only recently that I've started taping them in. I mean, recently. Wow. When I say recently, I'm talking about 1999. I started taping them in.
I see. So just merely 18 years.
Yeah.
How the time goes. All right, so and to everybody who goes to concerts, wear the fucking earplugs. That's very important. All right, so now we're moving on to Fox Sports 1. No cares on Fight Pass. Sometimes they sneak a name, and Mitch
A
thought it was not a name.
sad name, but yeah.
Yeah, this is not a name. Okay, now we've got Fox Sports 1 featherweight Gavin Tucker versus Rick Glenn.
Do not give a shit.
These guys those are white names, don't you think? Like,
I don't. You know, I had a roommate once who made me call him Rick, and the mail came. I said, "The mail's here for some Derek. I'm going to send it back." It's me. It's me. I go, "I thought your name was Rick." He goes, "No, it's Derek, but I don't want people to think I'm a black guy."
Derek is a black name now. When it's spelled like Derek instead of Derek.
He spelled it Derick.
Yeah, so is that the black spelling? Is that what he thought?
I have no idea. I was like,
huh.
Fucking moron.
Yeah. That is something, yeah. That's I went to college with a guy who went by Rao, short for Ralph. Which Rao was pretty good. I mean, you know.
Well, and also I've known lots of women who were really desirous of losing their Jewish surnames.
I see.
Because
so
because it was like not, you know, it's what I have to deal with. You know, walk up, nobody says, "Who is that guy over there?" And then somebody says, "Which guy?" And then somebody says, "That really handsome guy." They don't say that. They go,
El Guapo.
That black guy over there. That's who is that guy? And which I don't mind. I am that black guy.
I mean, it is descriptive, you know. And
like when I called somebody fat, I said, "It's Fat Paul and Skinny Paul." And Fat Paul comes up to me one time and goes, "By the way, I know that you call me Fat Paul." I go, "Hey man, I'm from fucking New York. You know, between you and the other Paul, who is heavier?" "Well, I am." "Okay, so I'm calling you Fat Paul. I don't mean that pejoratively. It's descriptive."
Can you call him Big Paul or Thick Paul or Rotund Paul or?
Yeah, I could Stout Paul or
Stout Paul. I mean,
stocky,
come on, soften it up.
Big Bone Paul or
Big Bone Paul. I like that. Like, let's just work with people, Eugene. I mean, that's what political correctness is all about.
This guy, he was a nice guy, but man, he would bring women around me, right, to try to trade on like some kind of hip factor. And while I learned from these women that while he was doing it, he was talking himself down. He was like, not like, "Why don't you meet a cool friend of mine?" He was like, "Oh, you probably really totally fall in love with him. He's like this and that and this and that." And you know, and then as luck would have it, then I'd end up having sex with these women, right? fulfilling the narrative that he don't make it easy. It's like, why are you bringing all these women to me? Why? I don't want to have sex with them.
Challenge.
No, it's not me a challenge, man. I want you to eat. You know, it's no fun if I'm the one who's just, you know, come on. Don't do this to yourself. You could play this out, you know.
Well, it sounds like some kind of sick psychodrama, Eugene, but we've got fights to gab about.
Oh, do we?
Women's bantamweight. Yeah. Did we don't care about Tucker and Glenn, do we?
No, not at all.
No, me neither. All right, women's bantamweight. Sara Moras versus Ashlee Evans-Smith. Because of Ashlee. Yep. So, do you have a pick?
Yeah, I picked Ashlee. She's a known associate, a former Team Sorrel member, and left to go to Southern California. And despite the stumbles, I liked her. I've actually rolled with her, so any win for her is a win for me by proxy.
I see. Team Eugene. She's on Team Eugene. Well, I'll make it interesting. I'll take Sara then.
Wow. You see,
Jack.
Well, I couldn't get John.
Expect some texts when she knocks her out.
I couldn't get John to go there, so you guys are splitting the failure on that one. All right.
I'm easily led, and I'm drinking this lovely Oktoberfest beer. So, all right, flyweight. Henry Cejudo.
I like that. Oktoberfest in September. Good for you.
You know, I'm ahead of schedule. Henry Cejudo versus Wilson Heiss.
Care.
Yeah, this is a big care. I still like both these guys.
And I'm picking Cejudo. And incidentally, so did John.
And so do I. I mean, he's just got the skill set to. Heiss has nothing for him, just like he had nothing for Mighty Mouse.
A gift.
I mean, if somehow Cejudo's dumb enough to initiate a grappling bout, then Heiss might give him some trouble. But
Maybe.
He's not. That's not Cejudo.
Cejudo's a mean guy, and I learned from the guys I know that he trained with in Arizona, and you know he's not. He didn't make the jump and walk away from that USA wrestling money to come here and be broke. You know. So
that's right. He's looking to win and get paid.
Yep.
All right, now here's a headliner of the prelim card: Women's bantamweight Sara McMann versus Vieira.
You know, I almost care because of McMann, but not, you know, takes two to tango, baby. I don't care because of Vieira. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't even care about. Well, I don't know. I almost care about McMann, but
hey, how do I get a hold of Ketlen Kugian?
Why are you asking me?
I'm not asking you. I'm asking the people who are watching us.
Ah, those people.
Tweet me, or text me, or email me how the best way to get a hold of Ketlen Kugian. Because the best part will be when I interview her, I will pronounce her last name that way.
She's gonna love that. It'll make a good impression.
Sure hey, you know what? You only have one time to make a second impression.
Oh yeah, we're hiding our own farts, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry. So, all right. So now we're coming to the pay-per-view card. Do we want to do the money game?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So,
and I say we should do this because we need to be mindful of how much we're willing to pay for our degeneracy. You know,
exactly, because we are chumps, all-day suckers.
I used to crawl into dumpsters to get porno magazines.
Back in the 70s, you had to do things like that.
I don't do that anymore.
Inundating. Yep. These days, I mean, you know, just glimpse at your kid's phone. I mean, you know, it's everywhere. You can't get away from it.
Yeah.
Mom, what porn are you looking at over there?
I don't want to think about that. I got daughters. You got a daughter too, you know. Sons, you're expected to be digging around at dumpsters.
Yeah. All right. So now we got featherweight. This is the patented, what do they call it? It's not a Boilermaker. It's a pot boiler to get things going.
Yeah. Not always a positive word, pot boiler, but go ahead.
Oh, you know, I mean, it doesn't have any great significance in the rankings, but it portend action. Featherweights, Jeremy Stephens and Gilbert Melendez.
I care, of course.
Is Gilbert a friend of Knuckle Up?
He is a friend of Knuckle Up, which means I got to pick him.
I see. You got to pick him over the former felonious Jeremy Stephens, the accused felon, one-time accused, now acquitted.
No, I really like what I'm seeing out of Gilbert.
Gilbert, he really has epitomized the Reebok era, hasn't he?
Sadly, yeah. But no, I've got my spies there, and I think he's on fire. But of course, you got to understand the people.
He's 1-4 in his last 5 fights.
Well, yeah, these were tough goings, but you know who's he fought the last 4 fights, right? I mean, these weren't easy guys to fight. However, what I say is people, hey, well, how's Gilbert doing? He's doing great. He's on fire, you know. But what is that phrase that you tried to school me on yesterday? A high tide raises all boats. Mm-hmm. So it could just
the pie higher.
Yeah, it could just be that the guys who are around him are used to his normal non-fighting thing and are watching him stepping up. It could just be that, you know, the trials of time. I don't know, but I'm picking him.
Yeah. I mean, both these guys have struggled in the last couple of years, so I'm going to pick Little Heathen just to.
You know what? Yeah, Jeremy Stephens. You know, I got 2 words for him. Oh man, this is the perils of age. No, I got 2 words for him, and those words are Ja Rule.
Ja Rule.
Ja Rule had a career. And 50 Cent on that first record he put out, Get Rich or Die Trying, did this takedown, verbal takedown on Ja Rule. And like Slick Rick said, if you want to eat, you better never cry battle. And we haven't heard from Ja Rule since then, except recently in the paper getting sued for this festival cock up in down the island. So
Fire Festival, yes, a little regrettable.
So I think who the fuck is this guy is the kind of thing that might stick with you a little bit.
I see. Ouch.
But you picked him, so I'll just write that down.
All right. Did Nash pick him?
No, we didn't get there. He picked Cejudo, and that was it.
That was it. All right. So,
or like I like to say, Cejudo.
Yes, Cejudo. It's like Lord Byron. You know, the whole book Don Juan is actually correctly pronounced Don Juan to fit with the rhyme scheme and everything because he was English. They didn't.
Well, there's certain words like Forte.
Fort.
Yeah, that's right. That's how you pronounce it.
Except
so many people pronounce it forte that if you say fort, you're the idiot, and then you have to explain. Actually, it's correctly pronounced fort, even though it's spelled Forte, and it's just easier to use another word.
I see. Well, you know, these are not problems I run into because in circles, the elevated circles I run into, you know, it's everybody knows how to pronounce fort, and they know what you mean when you say it.
Yeah.
No, I say forte because Jesus.
Well, you know, at a certain point, you have to yield to common usage. Why not? I mean,
yeah. Forte is only for the musical term, it says. But let's get back on track.
How did I know you were going to look that up?
Because I got the computer right here.
Right.
Jeremy Stevens versus Gilbert Melendez for $5. I paid $5.
You're right. He's a friend of Knuckle Up, but I don't have to go broke because of that.
Yeah.
So $5. All right.
So, light heavyweight, Ilir Latifi versus Tyson Pedro. Come on, Latifi riding horses on the beach. You can forget the good times.
But I think they're trying to develop this guy, and he had a stumble, and
they're feeding him to Pedro, dude.
Yeah. You think that's the way it's going? Yeah.
That's the way it's going.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Pedro's a monster.
That's right. Yeah, no, I do care. I remember seeing Pedro. I'm wondering if he's going to pass any drug tests, but that's okay.
Ooh, shots fired.
Whatever,
shots fired.
Come on, everybody acts like what? You know?
Ooh. Now you're starting to say you can tell when somebody's using steroids by looking at him.
I can tell. There's a guy that people put up on some of these martial arts fight sites, and the guy is doing box jumps and flipping tires, and I could detect that the video is sped up just a little bit. But the reality of it is, the major tell for me with steroids is that your refractory period drops to 0. You have to force yourself to, if you're lifting weights and you got the rep sets format, you actually have to look at a clock and force yourself to wait 30 seconds between sets, because otherwise 30 seconds seems like a long time because you're on fire. So when I'm watching these guys do push-ups when he's bouncing 3 feet off the floor, then flip a tire, then flip a bag, and then run and sprint, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Do you remember back in the day when Sean Sherrick, I think he was fighting BJ Penn for the title, and they had the preview show, and he was doing exactly what he described there, and then he shows like that mountain of supplements he's taking for the fight, like, and then of course he fails the drug test, like.
Yeah, of course. Oh, I knew that when he was at AKA when I was down at AKA training one time, and he, in an interesting way, was just like Anthony Rumble Johnson. I think somebody had told him, that guy over there is a journalist, and he was really weird with me after that, And I think I subsequently ended up on an old Knuckle Up interviewing him, because I remember him saying that he was defining the Sean Sherrick syndrome about, I'm too dangerous to fight, but I'm not a big enough name to fight. So the guys below me don't want to take a chance. Guys above me don't want to take. So I'm like, so he did tell me that and did do the interview with me fundamentally, but he was weird with me in person, face to face, but I could tell that he was on, fucking watching him work out. There was no question in my mind. And that's the only tell. Because remember, it's not like the body type. Tim Sylvia was taking it. Didn't look like much. There are lots of guys,
Josh Barnett, notoriously. But then you look at Vitor Belfort, and, before and after you saw the testing, and like it looks like he was deflated. He looks like a New England Patriots football. All right.
Well,
how about, was that topical? Was that a topical reference?
Am
I up to date and current?
Like it.
All right.
Anyway, okay.
We're both picking Pedro.
Yeah, I think that's gonna have to be the case.
$5.
$5, right?
Copying every damn thing I do, Eugene.
I set Nash up for that because I knew he was going to pick Cejudo, and he's trying to get on the board. And I said, I'm going to let you go first so that it doesn't seem like I'm copying your pick of my pick of Cejudo. And he was like, what? It was like jiu-jitsu, man. I'd gotten my pick in there before he had gotten his pick in there. Then he had to pick Cejudo, so it seemed like he was copying me. So
this is just like talking to my kid when I pick him up from school, telling me all the brilliant ways he burned his friends at Foursquare. Like, yeah, it's the little things in life, Eugene. It's the little petty wins. All right, welterweight, Neil Magny versus Rafael dos Anjos.
Wow. Well,
I
can't believe that we have to even debate whether it's a fuck, man. That hurts. Lying
because
on
it's
your
on
back.
a pay-per-view. You should think the whole pay-per-view card should be just automatic cares.
No, but it just. I mean, there would have been no pause of Rafael dos Anjos of a few years ago, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, we've all,
and it's not because of him necessarily. This Magny thing puts him in a fucking weird situation. So, I care.
Yeah, I care. But Magny, you're right. Magny's like, he's like bringing me to a party. He just ruins everything.
Yep.
Like, nobody's getting laid tonight because here I am.
Like my friend Mickey Mouser. That was his name, Mickey Mouser. Inevitably, I'd be chatting up some girls. I think the Beastie Boys were there. So I chat up some girls, and I hear that clarion cry from across the room. Who's a faggot? And I go, oh, man.
Classy.
That's it. We got to go.
Those are the days when, yeah. All right. So, Magny and Dos Anjos, we care.
We care.
Are we
go ahead, pick.
No, you go ahead.
No, you pick. No,
you just told me how this works. You go ahead.
Yeah, why you leave me with this shit? It's like I got poop and I got poop. Which poop do you want to eat? Crap. I hate to talk about these guys that way, but
Hobson's choice.
I'm gonna pick well, you can pick any horse you want as long as it's the one by the door, right? So I'm gonna take Dos Anjos.
Taking Dos Anjos. You're lucky I'm feeling contrary tonight. I hate picking Neil Magny.
You can't feel good about picking Magny, man.
No. But RDA is just like, it's like
he's still trying.
I feel like he rediscovered a taste for cookie dough or something in the last couple of years. Like he's got the late night munchies, or he's discovered video games or something. Like there's like.
Oh well, go ahead.
I'm picking Magny. I'm picking Magny, loud and proud. But this fight's worth $5.
No,
so we got 15.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It's not.
No,
you're not going to pay. What are you going to pay? 3?
Yeah, I would go for 3 for this. In other words, like if
I
could download it on iTunes, it was $2.99. I'd pay.
Okay, put me down for $2.99 too. You writing all this down?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, all right. So, it's painful because when RDA was lightweight champ, he had it going on.
Yes, well, I used to be 265 too.
Yeah, was that a good thing? I thought that wasn't that too heavy. I mean.
Wow, I was really incredibly strong. Like you can't like crazy.
Did you go out and lift engine blocks and stuff? Just bend iron pipes?
No. After I saw Franco Colombo fall with a refrigerator on his back and screw up his knee, I stopped at dinosaur training stuff of lifting odd sized things. But no, it was great to be able to bench press. What was my bench? It was like over 350 somewhere, squatting.
Regular Tank Abbott. Well, I mean,
4 or 5 for reps, and then deadlifted. The deadlift was my best, and it was over 600.
Wow.
Oh.
So, was that with PEDs?
Close grip bench press with 315, just knocking out the reps.
What kind of stack were you doing there for that?
Well, this is what people trying to get me into arguments about orals. I go, taking them all, my friend, and they don't do shit. You know, I mean, outside of AD 50, Anadrol 50, which would also is just as likely to give you cancer of the fucking lymph glands because it's so. I know a guy who said, "I want to slow its absorption into my system." So what did he do? He stuck them under his tongue. They don't say anything about those things being sublingual. Got cancer through his neck. They had to cut his neck looked like a fucking parenthesis because they had
Roger Ebert.
Yeah, they just had to cut all his stuff out of it. And he asked the doctor. The doctor goes, "No." Well, man, that's weird. The doctor would have said no. And then I remember, oh yeah, this guy worked at HP. He was not going to get his drugs from the same gutter place as I was. He got them from the doctor. So of course the doctor said no.
Well, that's got to trust your mechanic.
Yeah, or like Biafra says, don't trust your mechanic.
He says trust your mechanic.
Don't trust your mechanic.
The title is Trust Your Mechanic.
Hey, really? Look it up.
Yeah, let's look it up. When I'm your secretary, Trust Your Mechanic, Dead Kennedys. And the title of the song is Trust Your Mechanic.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. TV invents a disease you think you have, blah, blah, blah. Rip you off. Trust your mechanic. Your car. There it is. Trust your mechanic. Just like I said, Eugene. Just like I said.
You know what? I only followed the DKs through the first 2 records. So after that, even though I was on Frank.
You didn't like In God We Trust?
I think I was on Bedtime for Democracy. And
that one wasn't very good.
And I think I did something on Frank and Christ too. I don't remember.
That one wasn't very good either. So you're the one that ruined those. But I mean, to me, it's like Fresh Fruit, Plastic Surgery Disasters, and In God We Trust. I mean, that's an EP, but
that's it. Those are and a few of the 7 inches. Police Truck.
That's a good one.
And Too Drunk to Fuck, and then
that's a classic.
And the Witch Trials weren't bad either, but those don't amount to very. I mean, it's not. Yeah. It's not. We're talking about Oxbow.
Yeah, I remember I had a friend who was like the 3rd coolest friend in our group of 3 guys, and he always bought. Like if he got to the new record by a band we all liked, it inevitably sucked, and he bought Frankenchrist, and it was just terrible.
That was like me with baseball cards. Hey man, I got Bucky Dent, and everybody's like so I got rid of Bucky Dent, and then Bucky Dent turned it around. It's like fuck.
And he didn't have Bucky Dent anymore. All right, so now we've come to the co-main event, women's bantamweight. Once the biggest title in combat sports, now it's a co-main event to the flyweight title. Amanda Nunes, the champion, against Valentina Shevchenko. This is a redo of the match that was canceled because of sinus trouble on the part of the champion. So, yeah. I'm sort of sympathetic to her on that one, but not really. Are you?
I'm not really, I mean, you know how many times I've been sick to work? Exactly. 0. Right. So I never in high school I mean, it's not like I'm not getting sick. I get sick. I figure
you just come in and sneeze all over the salad bar and ruin the whole Golden Corral experience for everybody.
Because where did I get sick? I got sick at work. I'm spreading the love. So.
I see. Well, I'll never eat at Arby's again, Eugene.
So you're gonna pick Nunes, or you're gonna take Shevchenko?
I'm picking Shevchenko, man. I think she's got her number. I think she's in her head. I also think her magical ability to fight longer than a round and a half is going to really stymie Nunes.
I didn't want to let you pick, but I want to pick Shevchenko as well. Because I have not received.
Do it for spite. I mean,
and you know why? Because I haven't at this point now. If Nunes, I know she's not interested in men, but if she was a girlfriend, and I said, meet me at this party Saturday night at 7:30, and she's like, I can't show up because I have some kind of sinus thing, I would go Columbo on her. So this sinus thing, have you had it long? Do you have it? Does it strike you when you go other places? And one other thing, I want an answer, and I haven't gotten an answer. So you put me.
Is that supposed to be a Peter Falk impression?
A mild one, because I don't want to obscure my point, which is I don't have an explanation.
Sweetheart. You should have done a sweetheart.
I don't have an explanation as to why she did what she did or what happened. So that means I got a big question mark about the headspace, and I just can't. I can't. If I don't have an explanation, what am I? How's that gonna? I can't. I'm sorry. I cannot trust you. So
how much would you pay for this?
$10.
$10. Yeah, I'll pay 15. I'll
Okay.
pay 15. I'll pay
All right.
15. Because I still like Nunes for the beating she put on Ronda. I mean,
Yeah.
that was, and not that I have anything against Ronda, but I sure did enjoy watching her get beat down. All right. Now we've got.
Wasn't that strange? How like suddenly you're watching Ronda in a fight and you get the sense like this person shouldn't be in there at all. How
It was. Yeah, it was one of those mighty have fallen sort of things.
But now more than that, I mean, the point that I'm trying to underscore is that it like Rene Descartes, it caused me to doubt the validity of my eyesight, my tools of perception,
You felt there was a demon trying to convince you everything was a lie.
Correct.
Wow.
Correct.
But you think, ergo cogito, but you see fights, so you know you exist. You experience bloodlust.
I see rich people.
I see rich people. I enjoy watching people suffer pain. Therefore,
anyway,
yes,
okay.
Yes. All right, the great philosophical question. So now we come to the title.
I got a joke for you.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
And
okay, so this Jewish guy.
Knock.
No.
No.
I go for it. Jewish guy's walking along the road. It's Nazi times. He's got the Star of David on.
Do I need to censor this? I mean, Google's
no. Open car drives by. Hitler's in it. He sees a Star of David. Goes, hey, stop the car. Stops the car. Gets out, and he is Jew. And he pulls a gun out. Goes, eat that horse poop. Jewish guy was like, wow, guys, Hitler, this guy's got a gun. And so he gets down on the ground, he starts eating the horse poop. And Hitler starts laughing and laughing and laughing. Laughs so hard, he drops the gun. Jewish guy scrambles and gets the gun and goes, ha! Now it's your turn. Get down and you eat that horse poop or I'll shoot you. So Hitler, I'm Hitler, but I don't get shot in the roadside by some crazy Jew. He drops down to the floor. He starts eating the horse poop, and the guy realizes, oh, he's probably not alone. Other people are going to show up. So he runs off into the woods, throws the gun away, goes home. So he gets home, and his wife's in the kitchen cooking dinner. And she goes, he goes, honey, I'm home. She goes, oh, great. How are you? How are you? He goes, fine. Hey, you never guess who I had lunch with today?
A classic.
There you go.
I didn't see it coming, but it's a good punchline.
That's a good one, Jay. You see, don't have to censor it.
Yes. All right, so Demetrious Johnson, no longer Mighty Mouse, just Mighty.
That's dumbass, but care.
But it's copyright. It's the whole trademark, the onerous intellectual property regime you neoliberal centrists support so avidly.
That I sued Sony over and made $22,000 from. Yes.
So, Demetrious Mighty Johnson versus Ray Borg.
Yes, I care.
Yes, I care too. And I do. Are you letting me talk?
Go ahead.
The rhythm's all off because you just normally just walk right over me, but okay.
I'm still flying high with that punchline,
High on his own farts. That's going to be your
that's on my business card.
Fittingly. All right. So I care about Mighty. I mean, I do enjoy watching him fight. He's definitely the best fighter of our current era, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, he is an MMA Mayweather. And what do you think I mean by calling him MMA Mayweather?
Technically brilliant, and yet, man, he's not a dick. That's the other thing.
He's a nice guy. Even though Alexi says every time he opens his mouth, he gets annoyed with this guy because he says something annoying. But I think what somebody said that I thought was really clever. Mayweather has never fought a fight that he could have lost.
But no, DJ takes all comers, man. He's not handpicking nothing.
Like Dillashaw.
Other than that.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's, he wants to set the record for most wins as a champion. Or tie. Is he tying it or breaking the Anderson Silva record?
I don't remember.
But we're picking Mighty, right?
Fucking A, man.
What do you got? A cockroach on you?
Fucking spider. Jesus Christ. I saw it all the way on this wall, and he's like walked all the way around. Yeah, you came all the way over here for that, huh?
Are you afraid of spiders, Eugene?
I'm not afraid of spiders, man. It's just like,
don't like them.
I don't want them on my fucking neck.
I see. I see.
So
All right.
I'm picking Mighty.
Yeah, we're both picking Mighty. I mean, Borg has nothing for him. Do you think Borg has anything for him?
I think Borg has got a dream.
He has a dream, but he's not
I'm gonna follow that dream wherever that dream may lead. Sorry.
Do you do a pretty mean Elvis impression?
I'm still hoarse from the Oxbow shows. Otherwise, it would have been better. You know.
I see. Is that one of your usual when you do the Elvis show? Is that one of the go-tos?
No. I do like Kid Creole.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I'm going obscure. You know. I hear crying in the chapel. You know. Yeah.
I see. That's yeah.
I did a lift between songs of a David Bowie Station to Station reference, right? Because the record's Thin Black Duke. Bowie was a thin white Duke, and the line was, you know, the return of the thin white Duke throwing darts in lovers' eyes, right? I'm sorry with the hoarseness. So I did a piss take, you know, because the guitar player's fucking around. He's tuning and doing some God knows what technical thing. And so usually I just stand on stage and stare at him because I want to redirect everybody's attention to him. But I've been aching to do this one. And so I said, you know, it's the return of the thin black Duke, right? So calling out the record. But I'm not going to use a line throwing darts in the lover's eyes. That seems violent to me, right? So I said, you know, blowing loads in lovers' eyes.
So romantic.
And of course, a couple of dudes in the audience think like I'm talking dude, right? They're like, so I know now, and I hear some groans because they think I'm making locker room humor. So then I had to lock on to the dudes who were laughing, thinking that we were sharing a language, and I had to sing the second verse, which is just me singing that same verse again, which is the return of the thin black Duke, blowing loads in lovers' eyes. And then I had to look at the guys and indicate it's you I'm talking about. You know, and it's not about some kind of gender weirdness. No, you know. So it completely changed the temperature in the room, and everybody got skeeved out, and they were unhappy and uncomfortable, which means it was a great moment for me.
I see. Elvis gave out Cadillacs. You confuse and disorient. All right. So did we? Okay.
We both picked Mighty. We're waiting to pick the dollar amount.
The money. And you wrote down how much we put 15 down for Nunes Shevchenko or 10?
You did. You put 15 down for them. I put 10. And I'm willing to go to 20 for Mighty and Borg.
Man, I think Mighty ought to be on fucking Fox. I don't think he should be on pay-per-view. But this fight is worth something to me.
I'm measuring it by the degree to which I'm likely to get my ass out of the seat and go to the bathroom and get a drink. Well, we know I'm not getting a drink.
$5. $5.
Wow.
And I don't mean it as a diss.
Wow.
I just mean it as a honest, because here's the thing.
Okay, wait. So you're $32.99. That's where you are.
That's a fair deal. I think pay-per-views ought to be about $25.
How much is this pay-per-view?
It's like 65 now. I mean, it's like
this is the age of the don't care. Even though we cared about a number of these fights, this is where the dollar amounts come in.
Less than half of the cost of the pay-per-view.
Yep. So
and I expense mine, so
I did a little bit better. I got $42.99. You expense yours. That's kind of nice.
How much did you pay for the title? The headliner?
I paid $20 for the headliner.
20. I mean, that's fair, but I just feel like Mighty ought to be on Fox. Like, I felt like he was perfect to be on Fox, other than that he can be boring. But those 5-round fights are great for ratings, you know?
Yeah,
so,
I don't know.
I don't know. Do you think this goes 5 rounds?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Because he has kind of turned it up, hasn't he? Last few fights. He's tired of these fools. Okay, so I guess that's our show.
That's it.
That's it. So Zane will be around.
Zane. Yeah.
Tomorrow with the MMA vivisection, and then we'll have the 6th round after the fights with Zane and Eddie Mercado. Knuckle up on Sunday?
Yes.
Yes. And then we get up and repeat this process like we've done so many times with UFC Fight Night, Rockhold versus Branch. Dave fucking Branch is headlining a card. Can you believe it? I mean, they cut this guy for being boring. He hasn't gotten any less boring, and now he's back. But
well, he's serving a purpose.
Filling fodder for Rockhold, trying to feed him a comeback.
I'm hearing screaming.
Uh-oh. Well, it's probably just your neighbors bashing your car into bits.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'll let you go. So subscribe to MMANation.com, DOTCOM on YouTube. Subscribe to MMA Nation on iTunes. Get the audio without the ugly. Follow us on Twitter at KidNate, at Eugene S. Robinson.
Our Instagram, Mr. Sleep 3, but that's still gated. That's still a gated community.
So why are you plugging it?
All you have to do is let me look inside. You show me yours first, then I'll let you see mine.
Let's see. Is this the old...
If you have no post, I have to assume that you're a spy, and I can't let you in.
Because if you look into the abyss also looks at your Instagram feed.
Precisely.
And sees if he wants to associate with you. All right. And read Eugene at Aussie.com and Adios MMA Aficionados. Thank you, Eugene. And
come
thumbs
on.
up thing. That's a different show. And this is how you do a thumbs up, Eugene.
Okay.
This. Right. And give us a thumbs up because we need them.
Yes.
All right. Adios MMA Aficionados. Thanks, Eugene. We'll see you next time.
All right, man.